Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome back to another video from Marvel Strike Force. Now, today in the game we have new milestones that actually replace the Captain Marvel ones that were exceedingly generous, and they were actually a real good positive change for the game. Now, whenever we get changes like this, I always like to look at the previous setup we had and compare it to the new one and see if we're actually getting more, see if we're getting less, or how it actually shakes out. Now, recently in the game I've been really disappointed with the rewards that have been handed out. You've got the Unity Orbs, which were absolutely horrible, the Orbs themselves, and on top of that you had the Milestones for the Unity Orbs, which was awful as well, with there only being a buff to it on the final day, which was too little too late. You then had the Orb opening milestone, which is awful as well. I don't believe I even finished one of the milestones for that particular one there. So with all that in mind, I really want to keep a close eye on the rewards, because I feel that unfortunately we are going on a downward trajectory at the moment, where the rewards are going down in the game, and in some modes we're actually finding out that there's this buffing happening and the actual modes are being scaled up. So it's not a good precedent for one of them to go up that's anti-player, arguably another one to go down, which would be for the players. So we'll be looking at the new milestone orbs, and we'll be comparing them to what you used to get before. Now, before we actually do go in and break it all down, there's a slight difference in that previously you would really get premium orbs from the milestones. Now it's milestone orbs you get. The difference with them that I have to address before we actually look at the number of shards you get is what's in the left and right column, because they are different. So let's actually just bring that up first. So we start off here looking at the premium orbs. Now in the left and right column, what you could get from these was tier 2 and free ability materials, that's your blue and your purple materials. You could get training modules important for new players, you could get a small amount of gold, one shard for characters, and then you could get gear, and that went all the way up to the purple rating. Now the new milestone orbs are, I would say, slightly better, but when we actually look at it overall, I still feel that this is at a massive downgrade here. But what you get in these in the left and right columns, in the left column it's guaranteed that you'll get orb fragments. It's a very small amount, and it'll be for either a premium, gold, or a training or an ability orb. You then get, or you have a chance to get, 0.93% chance of getting 200 4-star red star tokens. That's the ones you use in the store. Just so it makes a bit more sense, you would need to get this pool 25 times at a rate of 0.93% in order to get one full ticket to pull a 4-star character. A 4-star red character, that is. You also get tier 2 to 3 ability materials, which is the same as the premium course. So that's your blue and your purples, and then your gear. There's a slight upgrade here, it can go up to gold, whereas premiums only go up to purple. However, you'll not get any uniques, and that seems to be the ones that people really need. I find I've got an absolute ton of the normal orange materials, but it's the uniques that I don't have. But that's what the differences are in the left and right columns. I feel that we need to set these out before we actually go in and look at the central column, the shards. So let's check that out now. Before we do go in and break this down here, I'll just mention that the stats you see on screen would be what you would get over the course of a week. So you could run the energy milestone twice, the gold one twice, and then you've got your alliance weekly one there as well. Now we start off with energy. If you were to complete that 2 times in a week previously with the old setup, you would get 4,000 premium orb shards. That equates to 2 premium orbs, which would be a minimum of 30 shards and an absolute maximum of 100. It's most likely you would be getting 30 there, however. With the new setup, that would give you 7,000 of the milestone orb shards. So that looks better initially. That would work out, I'm actually rounding it up here to be generous, it would work out at 4 milestone orbs. That would be a minimum of 20 shards and a maximum of 40 there. You then have the gold milestones. This one here, previously you would get 7,200 premium orb shards. I'm rounding this up because I rounded the previous milestone one up. So that would be 4 premium orbs, and that's between 60 to 200 shards. With the new setup for the gold, you get 10,400 of the milestone orb shards, which again looks nice. It would be 5 milestone orbs, but that's between 25 to 50 shards, so a lot less than the absolute maximum you could get from the actual new ones. Is still less than the minimum you would get with the old setup. Finally, we have the Alliance Weekly rewards. Now with these, previously what you would get was 5,850 of the premium orb shards. That works out at close enough to 3 premium orbs, which is between 45 to 150 shards. You would get some mega orb shards as well. That would be enough to open 1.5 mega orbs, which would work out in between 75 and 150 shards, and you would get 1 orange gear orb as well there. Now, with the new setup, you're looking at getting 7,000 of the milestone orb shards, which rounding up once again is 4 milestone orbs, which is between 20 to 40 shards. You get 50 advanced basic catalysts. This is a nice change. I do like this because they're always needed. You get 2 orange gear orbs, so you get 1 additional one over what you normally get, and you're getting 10 tier 4 materials. I'm starting to worry a little bit with how often the game is given us them. I'm starting to think they might be used for something else, or we might see another upgrade of skills or something. I've not heard anything, just to be clear, but it does worry me that they're starting to give these to us. Now, if we actually do a summary here, because I know that was a lot of information to run over, and break it down. So on the old setup with the Captain Marvel milestones, you would be looking at getting an absolute minimum of 210 premium orb shards if you were to complete all the milestones weekly. Absolute maximum you would get, which is exceedingly unlikely, but the potential is there, would be 600 shards, and you would get 1 orange gear raid orb as well. With the new setup and the new ones, shard wise, the absolute minimum number of shards you get would be a lowly 65 over the course of a whole week. The maximum amount of shards you can get is almost 50% less than the minimum in the old setup. So an absolute best case scenario, and this isn't going to happen with the rates on these, then you could get a maximum of 130 shards, which is still 80 shards less than the minimum you would get previously. You do get your 50 advanced basic catalysts, which are nice, and you get an additional gear orb, and then you get a small amount of your tier 4 materials as well. Overall, looking at what you get in the left and right column, looking at the huge difference in shards, which once again, as mentioned, you're looking at a difference of potentially around about 140 shards over the course of a week, less than what you're actually getting with the setup before. It's a huge amount. The reason I'm bringing this up and doing a video on it is, as I mentioned before, recently we've had the Unity Orb milestones. They were exceptionally disappointing. We've had the Orb opening milestones. They were really disappointing. I actually had a content creator approach me, and he was asking about the new event setup in regards to Psylocke. He worked it out that when new players join the game, when they can only complete the beginner version of an event or the easy version of an event, even if they max out on power core refreshes and do all the nodes that are available to them, they still won't get enough shards to actually unlock that particular character. And this never used to be the case, but with the changes they've made, this is now the case. So there's too many decisions that seem to be going in this direction, while at the other time there's other decisions such as the stealth buffing of raids and nodes that are happening in the other direction, and it's not good. I'm not really liking what I'm seeing at all here. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the breakdown. Do you think this is better when you take everything into account with the left and right columns? Do you think this is worse? How do you feel about the game in regards to these changes I've talked about that seem to be moving in the wrong direction for players, and then the other changes that have been made stealthily that are once again moving in the wrong direction of players as well? But thanks for tuning in for this video, and I'll see you all again soon.